that has been happening here at our office. So the average rate of turnover in a medical staff in 2015 was 19.2%. Our rates of turnover in every department currently exceed this average by about 10%. High turnover rate leads to higher company costs by training, employees not really being able to bond as a team. So when you have somebody who comes in for a little bit and leaves, and then you have another person who comes in for a little bit and leaves, it's hard to build that team dynamic. Productivity is also decreased as new hires do take time to learn, and when you are training, you are taking another body away. So you are essentially losing two people when you hire. So your productivity definitely decreases quite a bit. Continuity of care also decreases. So working in a healthcare industry, when your patients are seeing people coming in and out of the office all the time, they don't feel as if their continuity of care really matters. So we need to make sure that we're keeping people here for long term, not necessarily just for short term. And it is also a turnoff to potential new hires. So when you're doing an interview with somebody and they ask, what is your turnover rate? If we say that our turnover rate is a little higher than other offices, that's going to be an automatic turnoff to that employee. They're going to think, what is wrong with this company? Why do people keep coming and leaving? So looking at our annual salaries, the average salary for a doctor right now is about $156,000. Our salary that we pay our doctors is about $173,000. The average salary for nurses are about $68,000, but we pay about $67,000. So not a huge difference, but the nursing staff are being underpaid by the national average. And nursing assistants are about $36,000, and we pay $39,000. And the administrative staff at average salary for a front desk is about $27,000. We're paying significantly higher at $32,000. And for management team, the average salary is about $78,000, while we are paying $82,000. So even though our average salaries are significantly higher than those of the national averages, we don't offer very many other tangible incentives. So is money always worth it? Studies show that offering benefits other than higher salaries attract more potential employees. So the benefits that we must start offering to our employees would be health insurance, a 401k, life insurance, and definitely PTO time and vacation time. Because if an employee sees that they're going to get that right away, that's going to make them want to work for you. Whereas if they're not getting time off, then they're going to start to feel like they're working instead of living. And then benefits that we should start to offer would be things like dependent or childcare reimbursement, because most people working in healthcare industries right now are mothers, and daycare is expensive. And if they feel like their employee is helping them pay these costs so that they stay at their office, that is a huge incentive to keep people. There are also things like annual wellness rewards. So if they have a physical once a year, give them a $50 gift certificate somewhere. Things like that. That means that, we're going to start treating these employees as a person. And if we are able to do a cost of living wage increase annually, that will also be a huge turn on to our current employees, because they're going to know every year I'm going to get a cost of wage increase. Whereas if it's a performance review based merit system, they're not going to have that to look forward to, because with that, the reviews don't always intertwine with a raise. So if they know that they're going to get a raise every year rather than guessing or hoping, that's going to make people want to stay too. So here we have to do a retention plan. So I came up with a couple goals. So like I said, we want to make our employees feel like a person and not a number. So how can we do that? We can give surveys to employees quarterly, annually, however you want to do the quarter or the surveys. And that way they can see where we need improvements made in the office. Obviously, they could go anonymously. That way you get true feedback. And we don't want to let them feel like they are working more than they are living. We want to make an effort to make work fun. So have group outings, team building activities, make them feel like they matter to you. And something that I read that kind of stuck out with me was to have leaders, not bosses. So good leaders consider employees their most important asset, whereas a boss looks at you as a number. So here's just a sample retention plan that I came up with. So we just need to do a pre-orientation activity, orientation activities for the first week, and onboarding activities for the first year. And then we have to make sure that we have a recruitment and retention evaluation plan. So we just need to pick a due date, pick a lead person to handle one of those, and then meet up every so often to make sure that we're keeping up with our retention plan. Now, if we were able to get an increase of budget of about $120,000, this will make us be able to promote our newly added benefits, and we will also be able to fund training activities for new hires, like mentioned in our retention plan. The additional budget will also provide resources needed to create the things such as the employee surveys as well as the annual employee reviews. So in conclusion, we definitely need to make sure that we have some sort of retention plan. We have to make sure that we're offering more benefits to our employees other than just a higher salary, because money doesn't always matter when it comes to keeping people in a workplace. If they're not feeling like they matter, they're going to leave. So we have to start working together as a team to do that.